Every day we are bombarded with different things that all want to grab our attention. This attention grabbing can be annoying, and although I know when I find something annoying, I don't always know why. This is what I'd like to figure out by making this documentary about my day. Because I want to look at as many things as possible, this will not be an ordinary day. To see certain things, I'll probably have to go and find it.
Hallo. Goedemorgen, Pip.
Truthfully, I don't ever notice it unless it's super obvious.
Yeah.
And then when it's super obvious, it becomes ridiculously obvious. And then it can break the reality.
The most important thing, especially for television, is to have simultaneous labeling that people are being hit with an advertisement at the moment they are.
Right.
So there should be some little pop-up that comes on and says advertisement. It could be a scroll at the bottom, it could be a little pop-up, whatever. At the moment people are being advertised to, they should know they're being advertised to.
If there's a car in a movie, why not be a car that a brand is helping, reach your budget?
Like, I get putting it on his back, but on his butt. Just imagine, going to your job in the morning and a guy being like, here, this is what you have to wear, and yes, there's Specsavers written on your butt.
It's forced. It's so forced that you go, oh, I'm not watching a show, I'm watching a commercial, and that ruins the whole experience.
Slow phone. I look at advertising and I mind it more than when it would have been graffiti, which I think is strange.
Yes.
See what we can find.
Yeah. Do you want to go outside? You can't. You're still very fertile. Sting. Too bad for you.
Ja, jammer joh, jij wou een documentaire maken.
I was making a U-turn and I almost hit some pedestrians because, as I'm looking out for traffic, it's so bright that I couldn't see the pedestrians.
Shit. How it's made. They paid a lot of money to change it, and all they did was put a dot at the end.
They did the same in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
They just put a word on the next line.
There's someone saying, clean it off, and if it's a Banksy, leave it.
Why do you think it's great?
Because it looks like the person that made it took a lot of time and thought and put it into what he made.
Wouldn't it still be someone else's wall?
It's the city's wall. I don't know exactly why, but for some reason I think that graffiti, because it's made by an individual or something, or because it's a part of an art movement.
Yeah, you see graffiti as art.
I do.
And you don't see advertisements as art. Which,
I don't know if I see advertising as art.
if you would, then you wouldn't mind it as much.
I think that because advertising is being paid for, I put it on a higher standard.
If it's wonderful, if it's an Apple iPod ad, if it's something like that, it's just got harmony to it visually, and you look at it and you enjoy looking at it and you think that it's in your space, then it's out there 24/7 and everyone loves it. If it's not good, then it's still out there 24/7 and everyone sees it.
Beauty and ugliness.
I think it might also have something to do with the fact that I see advertising as fake reality. Because it's always trying to tell a story in a better light than it actually is.
let's see if there's graffiti on this train.
There isn't.
No. Good.
I think it's not so much of a moral question as a political question, and who holds economic power? Who has the right to buy billboards? Who has the right to put up things? Which classes of society can write their messages on the city?
I think this is the absolute ugliest logo there is. O in snob is thicker than all the other letters.
Yeah.
Like why?
Now, if I were to go and spray paint something that big on their building, I'd be in jail.
So you got the cheese?
I got the cheese.
Je ziet het winkelcentrum de klanderij.
Yeah.
Look, if I zoom out, it's gone.
I'm happy that there are so many typefaces. It's like food. You can make out of a potato many things, but the starting point is the same. A good cook would know that what kind of fonts are good or not good. You don't have bad vegetables.
Talking about product placement.
It is a problem area because it is still a very wide street, so people do walk here.
It's not very inviting.
I think it's hilarious that they're still rocking and saying for bush thing over there. Like it's the exact same as it is in Google Maps, so this has been here for quite a while, which is unusual for the city. Normally they clean it off within 5 days.
I think they got permission to paint on these.
I don't think they just got permission. I think they even got asked. What do you think of the fish?
It depends on if they have to clean it off again and want to use these plates again, or if it's just a one-time thing. The fish itself are not the problem. And another time.
This is though.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Like, when do you think that something is damaged? Because I think something's damaged when it in one way or another doesn't work the way it should, or it actually breaks the thing that it's on. When is it broken?
If they have to or replace it or clean it off. Or if it costs money to remove it. I mean, it's fine if you write it on, but then also pay for the costs of cleaning it off again.
If it wasn't allowed to paint on those wooden plates,
yeah?
Don't you think that it adds to the wooden plates that something has been painted on it?
Yeah, but that's your opinion. I mean,
it's my opinion, yes.
If the opinion of the person owning those plates is, well, I like it better with this paint on, then it's fine. But you don't know beforehand, so you shouldn't do it.
Don't you think that a space owned by everyone should be decorated by everyone?
Well, how do you want to decorate it by everyone? That's impossible. So that's why you have like rules.
This back and forth went on for a very long time, and neither one of us changed our minds. Although this might be frustrating in the moment, it's fine that we have very different standpoints. That's what opinions are for.
When you go out on a street and look and see nothing but a big clutter of a chaos of signs, what else is that other than visual pollution?
2 or 3 people have actually been sent to prison for the mindless vandalism that they've caused. As the head of service, I do have some discretion. With some of the Banksy work that we've got, my personal opinion is that they are very artistic. I genuinely believe that it does add value.
I saw 20 casuarina and Barringtonia trees, fully grown trees, hacked to the ground. It was only the next day as I was driving that I saw this humongous billboard, and it was very clearly visible, which is when I realized that the trees were probably cut to increase the visibility of this one big billboard.
I think the weather is incredibly nice.
And I think it's extremely cold. Do we ever agree on anything?
No, I don't think so.
I do think that the font is well chosen because it's very straight, clean. But I don't find it an interesting logo to look at. I don't.
No. But that's because it's a serious logo.
Yeah. And I like seeing things that are out of the ordinary and a little bit silly.
Is that why you have green hair?
No. Stop it. There are many personal exceptions and reasons why someone might find something annoying, but with everything I've looked at today, I think I have a more clear view on at least what my own standpoints are. I think that something could be annoying when it is, in my opinion, badly done, when no thought has gone into it at all. This can mean that it just looks rushed or that it destroys, disrupts or devalues its surroundings by it just being there. But when something destroys, disrupts or devalues is also still a very personal opinion. The most important thing I can think of that forms my opinion is my morals. When I find something offensive, I will be annoyed by it.
Where should I be able to go where I don't see one bit of advertising?
To sleep. That's what it's coming down to.
Thank you.
Is it not near? Is there more? Because it's hard to describe these things in words.
Komt helemaal goed. In ieder geval heel
De
erg
typeface.
Ja, dan zet ik hem weer uit.